We're live. We're live. We're live on Facebook. Welcome again to another episode of Ted Tackles. Not to be confused with the fishing program I once hosted in 1989. Welcome. I hope there's plenty of you watching tonight because it's quite late. Evening, Craig. Yeah, and Trump. Yeah, I'm in my nightwear because it's quite late, and I'm having a little bedtime brandy as well because that's how I rock and roll. You know what I mean? But as always, I'm joined by my now good man and friend, Donald Trumpy. Trumpy, you all right, mate?
Do you know, Ted, I'm fantastic. I've done more research on Middlesbrough, and I have looked into a place called Grangetown, which I think is a tremendous, tremendous place. And I believe there's a lot of work for welders in Grangetown because a lot of windows are steel. So apparently a lot of welders are doing the windows in Grangetown. You know, it's a fantastic place. And I also spoke to a guy who says, I think his name was Beza, something like that. Is that what they call people in Middle? They have nicknames like that roundabout that way, I think. Is that right, Ted? They have nicknames.
Yeah, they basically end people's names with either a vowel such as A or O. So you'd have like Bazza, Tomo, Bobo, Robbo, Jono, Wazza. You know, we've got limited vocabularies in Middlesbrough.
Something like that. I think it's great. I think it's great creativity for the brain.
Yeah.
And they said that what they love is they love the fact that we've legalized cannabis in most states in the U.S. And what he said was, soon as we legalize smack, I think that's what they call it. Soon as we legalize smack, they're definitely coming over to the States. What is smack, by the way, Ted?
Smack is it's a very dirty, filthy drug, and I wouldn't recommend taking it, even if it was the last drug on the table. There's much better ones, but I don't condone drug taking. So remember that. It's something, Donald, you don't want to do, mate, because you'd end up losing that lovely tan of yours. So evening, Angela.
Okay. Thank you, Angela Plum. Does that mean, is she posh? Is that why she's called Angela Plum? She's got a plum in her mouth.
I think I've heard rumours.
Angela, are you? We've got filthy straight away. I think it's great that we started this show at 10. Yeah. Ted, it really is. You know.
Yeah, get straight into the nitty gritty filth. Why not? It's 10 o'clock. You're allowed.
It'll be great to find out if Angela's posh or not. Angela, are you posh?
Are you posh, Angela?
Let's see if she's posh. Amy Louise, love these guys locked down. Isn't as boring. Thank you so much.
Hey, I like her. Look, she's a bit of like a rock chick as well, and she's given one of them. You know what I mean? I'd have a bit of that. Like,
you know, I think she's definitely been to a Green Day concert. You know, great lady, fantastic.
Yeah. Lady. Yeah. Evening, Jason. Jason's a very good photographer. He used to do some of my modelling photos of me back in the days, mainly swimwear. But then he developed a thing for me and tried it on, and I had to tell him to fuck off. So
is that right? What type of swimwear do you normally wear, Ted? Do you wear a Speedos guy, or you are one of those hot pants guys?
It's tight Speedos. I'm a bit like that David Gandy now off the Marks and Spencer's adverts in the tight socks and that. Similar body. But Angela's not posh. There we go. We waited a full.
She's not posh. Do you know, Angela, we respect you even more because you're not posh.
Yeah.
I love down-to-earth people.
Well, like I say, tonight's all about questions for me and Donald. We've only gone to half 10, and we've got our first question from Chris Adamson. It's a question for you, Donald. Have you tried a Parmo? And if not, and let's send him a Jeff the Chef if otherwise. Jeff the Chef is a popular brand available in supermarkets like the Asda's.
Do you know, I tried 7 Parmos. They're that great. They're fantastic. I absolutely love a Parmo. And a Jeff the Chef, I need to speak to Jeff because he needs to get involved in Trump Parmos when we take it over to the U.S. It's going to be fantastic, Chris. We love Jeff the Chef is going to become Trump Parmos. Believe me, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great.
Trump Parmos. Oh, wow, that would be amazing. Thanks, Jason. Yes, I did have tight buns. Thanks, mate. So your questions are coming through thick and fast. I don't know how you say it.
I just think you're trying to get those rude words in really, really quickly there, Ted, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to speak about fisting, that's absolutely fine. I'm open to a lot of things.
Well, I've got to admit, it's one thing Julie, Big Fat Julie, doesn't really let me do, but she does allow me to put both hands inside and clap. So,
and
It's an interesting move. It
And
really is.
when you clap, how far do your hands go apart when you clap?
Oh, honestly, it's like I'm supporting the borough. Up the borough, up the borough, and then it just echoes up the borough, up
You
the
know,
borough.
that is so great. I love that. I love that. You need to
Uh, got-
send me some videos, Ted. That's fantastic.
yeah, got a question here from Barry Small. You can see it there. The DJ Barry Small. Seems you are on tonight after the watershed. Is there going to be brief nudity and language of an adult nature? Don't be fucking daft, Barry. There's not going to be any of that.
Andrew Booth is getting very excited about this, by the way. He wants to see a bit of cock.
Well, I mean, I may have to point out I am in my nightwear, so things might get a bit racy.
By the
Uh,
way, I noted that you're in your nightwear, and you have questioned me whether I had trousers on. Are you wearing any undergarments this evening? Sorry, not undergarments. Are you wearing anything that would go over your underwear this evening?
apart from my dressing gown, I've just got like a nice pair of underpants on there, as you can see. They're not bad, them are they?
You know, I gotta say, those pants are criminal. The padding on those pants reminds me of my old grandma who lives in Scotland. By the way, my old grandma. It reminded me of her curtains. They're very
Yeah.
beautiful, really beautiful.
Funny you should say that, Donald, because that's where I got them from. Uh, Callum Andrew Taylor, does Donald Trump still like China vagina?
Do you know I love? Wait for it. Wait for it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready, Callum? Because Callum gets very excited the way I say this. I absolutely love a China vagina. Fantastic. Love a China vagina.
Oh. We've got a question here from photographer Jason Watkin here. What does Donald think about the beaches being open in Florida? Would he recommend the dunes opening at South Gare 4? I don't know if that's a finished sentence or not, but for the doggers. There we go. South Gare for the doggers. So are you happy about the beaches being open in Florida? I would be. There's loads of flange on them.
Do you know, I'm happy for Flange to go out there and let them whistle. You know, let the China vaginas whistle. You know, and I think it's as long as they get tested before they go on the beach. Let everybody, you know, have a beach. What is it called? A beach flange zone. That's what we need to have.
Oh, that would be
A
lovely.
beach flange zone. So great, fantastic.
We had one of them in Redcar before, but it was just full of lasses in tracksuits. It wasn't very attractive, to be honest.
That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Evening, James. Get yourself a profile picture, mate. You look creepy like that, like fucking Hollow Man or something. You know what I mean?
Do you know, I think it's great that James actually hasn't got a profile picture because a lot of trolls have that, but he's actually being really nice. So well done, James, by the way. Fantastic.
He's asking a typical sex offender question here as well, Donald, about what's your grandma's name. So
you know, because he doesn't have a photograph, I am not going to tell him my grandmother's name, just in case he tries to get images of my grandma and do disgusting things with them.
Yeah. By the way, James, contact me if you do want them images. I do have them. Ian Littlefear or Little Fair, I don't know. I'll say Little Fear. It sounds better. What about that Borough lad doing the drinking challenge, Ted, and he spewed after half a pint? What will the Teesside Tourist Board think of that? You're right, Ian. He came across as a right little fanny, didn't he? He came on, I don't know if you've seen it, Donald. He came on with a pint and a Borough shirt on, going, I'm going to do my drinking challenge now. I'm going down my pint. And he downed it, and then he just spewed it all over everywhere like a little fanny.
Do you know, I think that's disgusting. That is a huge, huge disgrace to the human race of people from Borough. Really bad, really dreadful.
Yeah, you're right, Barry. Yeah, I have got a rather nice figure. Thank you for that. I watched another one today as well, and it was a little Irish traveller lad with a bottle of Corona, and everyone was going, go on there, Tyson, fucking down there, get you down, you know, go on, get it down you like that, and he was going. He was struggling like fuck with it. He must have only been about 12, and then he downed it, and he went, "Good, come on, yeah, that's right, any fucking me now, you know," because he downed a bottle of Corona. That was more fun than the Borough one.
Those actions you did there, Ted, by the way, remind me of that video that you sent me of Big Fat Julie giving you a blowjob.
Oh God, did I send you that?
You did. It was fantastic. I had a great time.
Oh, so did I. Lee Papril. Oh, I like that name. You sound like some type of French war film. If Donald had 8 apples, I thought he was going to say nipples there. If Donald had 8 apples and little Tina took away 4 apples, would he still grab her by the pussy?
I would definitely do that, and I would also take the 4 apples, and then I would actually go over and take the other 4 apples, because I go in with nothing and come back with everything. And I don't mean apples actually as well. I also come back with everything when I go to a brothel. It's really terrible.
Yeah, I bet you do. I once inserted a full 6-pack of pink ladies inside a Julie. There's a thought for you.
Wow.
Molly James, Donald, do you like a red lemon top after the Parmo?
Do you know, you're going to have to explain to me what a lemon top is, because it sounds quite erotic.
Yeah, no, don't. It's not. It's not like I don't know, like a lesbian 3-way or anything like that. Don't get too excited. It's an ice cream with like lemon sorbet on the top, and you know you lick it and you eat it, and it gives you the brain freeze. But it's lovely.
Do you know, that sounds great? We need to try. Do you know, we need to have, so we've got the 2-course meal. We've got the Parmo, then we've got the lemon top. What would we recommend to have for a starter? Apart from Big Fat Julie, that is.
Probably. I know I'm having about 4 pints. It's 4 pints of like Stella or something like that.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Oh, we've got a very controversial question here from Callum Andrew Taylor. Donald, why don't you like Obama?
Do you know, I really do not want to talk things personal about Obama, but there are lots of documentaries you can watch on YouTube of why I don't like him. Next question.
Okay, well swerved. Barry DJ Small, I saw a Leeds bloke do it. He did a pint of Jack Daniels, can of cider, wine glass of vodka, half a tin of dog food, and had his head shaved as well. I seen that as well, Barry, and I just thought, what an absolute bell whiff.
Absolute bell whiff.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bell whiff is the greatest whatever. That was so strong what you said there, Ted. That was very beautiful. And also, speaking of bell whiffs, shall we move on to TikTok?
Yeah, speaking of one. It's a good topic question. TikTok now, millions of viewers for TikTok, right? What is your thoughts on TikTok, Donald? Because I have my opinions and I want to hear yours.
Do you know, I think it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. I think it's so dreadful. It's people miming from a cartoon or miming from a film and miming from a comedian's routine, and they're set in their garden, you know, acting out the moves, and there's people doing the most dreadful dance moves I have ever seen in my entire life, and people think that it's great. I think it is the worst thing since I saw Hillary Clinton's vagina.
Oh, it's that bad. Yeah, I agree with you. It's dreadful. You get like, I'm seeing like loads of middle-aged dickheads trying to do this dance thing where they're all going like this and then, and it's it's crap. It's absolute crap. And they're getting millions of views. I put out a really funny video or some stand-up and I get 12 views. It's not on.
It's ridiculous. It makes you wonder what the people actually want these days, you know? I mean, one could say, you know, I'm actually president and people like what I do. But, oh, my God. Do you know what, Ted? I need, because I've got lots of money, I need to buy out TikTok. What do you think?
Oh, if you could buy out TikTok, that would be amazing. And what we could do is find a way to data mine all of that information just to watch my videos. That'll be class. And I get trillions of views, and I'll get monetization and probably a better class of bird than our Julie. She won't mind me saying that.
Well, not that, because I would make sure that if I buy that, the videos of you and Big Fat Julie will get the most views, Ted. I gotta say, they definitely will get the most views.
Maybe we should just start a campaign to ban TikTok. Let's ban the fuck out of TikTok. Boycott it.
That'd be great. That'd be so
funny. It's a bit of a seamless link here for me because I've actually got a very famous and powerful man behind this campaign, and he's got a message.
You can't be more powerful than me, Ted. Come on.
He's up there with you as a bit of a fuckwit. I'll give him that. Mr. Joe Pittman, can we play the special message?
So this is a message for Donald and Ted Hankey. I've got to say, Ted, I am absolutely loving TED Talks. I think it is hilarious. I'm recovering from the coronavirus, and I've got to say, you are really, really making me laugh, and Donald as well. And I've got to say, I've been tuning in on this most recent episode, and I completely agree with what you are saying with regards to TikTok. It is one of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen in my entire life. And I've got to say, Ted, I am 100% agreeing with you on the fact that there are a lot of people on TikTok who are, and I love using this word, they are absolute bellwiths. And if we can put bellwiths into the dictionary, I'll be very happy to oblige with that, because these people need to be outed as bellwiths, and it is one of the most ridiculous things. I mean, when you are seeing three women who can't even dance, or you have somebody in their back garden drinking a can of lager, miming to a Mickey Flanagan comedy routine. I think it's ridiculous, and I don't think it's fair on the comedians that are sitting and writing this material. So Ted, I am 100% with you on this, and we seriously need to start a campaign to try and stop TikTok, whatever it's called. And I am completely with you, Ted, and I am absolutely loving the show, and also I think that it will be a fantastic idea if we can have more flange zones into our policy, and it will definitely be in the Conservative Party's manifesto as soon as possible.
Oh, sorry, there. I was just just sorting myself out. I was in a bit of a problem with my peckerwood there. Yeah, so you heard it from Boris himself there, and he did use the incredible words of bellwiths as well, which I think would be a good hashtag message strapline. Ticky-tack equals bellwith.
Absolutely, and what I've always got on with Boris, he's a great guy. And if we can get him joining in with the campaign, that'd be so fantastic. Really love him. He's a great guy. Also, I would love it if people could actually comment on TikTok as well. If people could give us their comments, I would love to read what they say, because bellwiths is a great term. I'd love to see what other things that they've got to say about TikTok.
It's a good point, Nat. So if anyone's watching and they are familiar with Ticky-tack, what is the worst Ticky-tack video you've seen, so we can find it and find that person and tell them they're a twat. Craig John Dodds was asking a little question either. Any news on Free and Joe Erotic?
I've never heard anything from Joe recently, but apparently there is news out that Peter Griffin actually tried to get some discount from Joe Exotic when he had his zoo open, and that video will be on Danny Postal Impressionist's Facebook page. Just a little plug.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I didn't know you knew him. I thought he was in jail. Right, let's carry on with the questions. Oh, another one from Chris to Ted. So a fucking greetings card, mate. Do you think you could do Donald's job? Then same question to Donald. I'd love to do a bit of a job swap, you know what I mean? You can entertain the masses and tickle all the flange, and I'll go and make really important bad decisions.
Well, basically, do you know what I do? I basically do your job anyway, Ted, but not with women like Big Fat Julie, unfortunately for you.
There's an incentive for you, if anything, isn't it? You know what I mean? Plummy, we are laid in bed, Ted, nice and comfy, watching you. Bloody hell, she sounds like she's having a little bit of a finger blast there, like, you know what I mean? Are you Plummy? Because I'm in my underwear. Sorry.
This is the moment in the show where I dare not stand up. This is quite a run.
Yeah, I'm not now. Yeah, bloody hell. I've had to tuck it in top of my underpants, you know, the elastic.
Is that, you teach me a word that they call that? Is that called a comfy fit, where you have to put it up and then put your pants over, and then the helmet is trying to squeeze out? Is that what it's called, a comfy fit?
I call it the Boncon baseline. So you just pop it up there. And then if you get tight elastic underwear as well, you can strangle its head until it flops.
Is it the elastic arrest? I love that.
Yeah, the elastic arrest, yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good,
The
good.
elastic chokehold.
I've got a question for you, Donald. Biological weapons, right? People have often referred to you as a diabolical weapon. Any sort of words on that? Do you think China have produced a biological weapon?
They've definitely produced biological weapons. This disease has come from China, and we're definitely going to get our revenge. I'm not going to tell you how we're going to do that, but I am going to be that diabolical weapon, Ted, believe me.
Oh, God, yes, you are, yeah. That'll be telling, naughty Ted. Oh, I like Plummy. She's nice.
I feel like this has turned into a bit of the sex line. I love it.
It's like Babe Station, isn't it? Except them fuckers get paid. Right, Callum Andrew Taylor. Does Donald Trump do Putin from behind, or does Putin do you? I think he's referring either politically or anally. I don't know.
Do you know what? I think we answered that question. Was it last week or the week before? However, I just let you know that we take turns occasionally, depending on what we want. If I want something from Russia, he gives it to me. If he wants something from the US, I give it to him.
Fair enough. Lee Paparelli, China. It's a wrestler.
China's a great place. China.
Good. Right. Can we have some questions, please, around any topics in today's news? It could be topical, it could be funny, it could just be made up. Just fire them over, get your little brains thinking. Here's one from Michael McDonald. Donald, I've heard Jim Carrey wants to play yourself in a new reboot film called Dumb and Dumb Hair. Would you endorse it? He's taking a mick about your hair there, Donald.
Do you know that I think that's very rich coming from somebody who doesn't have any? This is a guy who clearly does not have to worry about the corona cut, is what people are saying. And I think Jim Carrey's a great guy, fantastic guy, and I'd love to see him play me. However, how have you been getting on with the corona cut, Ted?
I don't know if you noticed, but my hair isn't getting any longer because Big Fat Julie's giving it a trim every now and again for me. She does my hair and she does my gooch as well. You know, that bit of no man's land between the ball sack and the balloon knot. Gets quite hairy down there, so she trims that.
That's a dreadful place to have hair. I call it Biffin's Bridge. Because it's in between. It's in between the, like you say, the two balloons and then the ass. And then trying to get in there is very difficult.
Yeah.
Not very good, though, because I've got somebody who does it for me. Actually, you've got Big Fat Julie who does it as well. Does Big Fat Julie do a good job?
She does. She makes me put my legs all the way over my head like that, and then she has a little shave like that, and then she just puts a little bit of Sudocrem on my bumhole. I think she likes that.
Sudocrem is great, and I love the fact that with your procedure that Julie gives you, you're also doing some yoga, so you're getting exercise at the same time. You're doing your daily exercise with Big Fat Julie, putting the Sudocrem.
Yeah, and if I'm lucky, sometimes she'll give me a dirty trombone. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, Mally James, Donald. Do you know what bin date is in Redcar tomorrow? Is it the green? Is it the black? Or is it the one that they use for the needles?
I think from what I heard today from Grangetown, I think it's the one for the needles there. But I think in Redcar, it is the black bins. I think today the recycling.
Good. Oh, look at this, Lauren McDowell. Love you, Trump. Hey to you both. Hey, Lauren. Thank you for
Lauren.
that.
That's great.
Ted, have you had the mobile COVID bab around to do your Barnet as it never gets any longer? It's correct, Barry. Like I said, Julie looks after it for me. I don't let it go too long because I don't want to look like one of the monkeys. I like my Beatles cut. Simple as that.
Do you know, I'd like to actually ask you a question there, Ted. When she does your hair and she does the gooch, the Biffin's Bridge, is that generally something that happens every week, or is it every day she does that? She makes sure she does your gooch.
It's every 3 days because I do get quite a bit of coarse growthage after the 3rd day. So much so that if I'm wearing a particular pair of cotton underpants, it can Velcro-wise onto that, and it makes like a ripping noise when I take my underpants off. So I've got to be careful.
That could be quite painful, really painful.
Yeah.
I like to use talcum powder because it's really nice on the a bit of oil of UA on the scrotum, and then some talcum powder. Smoothest balls you will ever have. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I do like the talcum nuts as well. It's nice. Craig has asked another question here. Have either of you ever shit yourself while you're out and about? I'll go first for this one, Donald. Yes, I was on a bus, and it was the 11113. No, it wasn't. It was a 17A bus to be precise, from Lanehouse Road in Thornaby to Linthorpe Road in Middlesbrough. And I'd had a very, very stern and aggressive chili the night before, along with 12 pints of Brow. And I went over the speed bump rather too fast, and I thought I was doing a pump. And next thing I know, I'd fully shit myself all up my back and all down the back of my legs. But I left it. I left it and did my shopping, and then went home and then got changed. Have you had an experience like that, Donald?
Well, I've done that before. It was when you go to fart, it was exactly the same incident. I actually needed the toilet. I needed to finish a business meeting. I got up. I thought I was going to fart, but I didn't. I sharted, and it was really, really dreadful. And it went down my leg. I eventually got out of the building that I was at having a meeting. It rolled down my leg, and it literally went under the pavement before I got into the limo. And nobody to this day still knows that I pooped.
Wow.
Because what I did is as I walked away, I said, I think it's disgusting. People should pick their dog's mess up around here. Isn't this disgraceful? And nobody knew. So there we go. I got away with it.
You've got quite long legs as well, Donald. Is that where Trump Towers came from?
That's exactly where it came from. Absolutely. Right down the bottom, straight down the chute.
True or false? True or false? Melania trumps. Does she do one?
Oh, she does the most beautiful ones. Really, really. They play classical music. They're very beautiful.
Oh, Mark Hemingway. Oh, I like you, Mark. You look very lovely. Do either of you know when Andy Preston will open Stewart Park? Andy Preston is the mayor of Middlesbrough. Do you have any close contacts with Mayor Preston?
Well, what I can do is I know Boris is getting much better now. I can give Boris a ring and get Boris to speak with Andy, and hopefully Stewart's Park will be open. I know a lot of people who've been there, and it's a beautiful place. I cannot wait until it's open. Apparently, it's as good as Central Park in New York.
Now I know why he's asking this. I recognise him because I'm part of the Thornaby Scuttlers dogging group, and he's part of the Middlesbrough Mingers, and they operate in Stewart's Park. And he's not getting on particularly well with this virtual dogging that we've all signed up to. It's difficult because you don't know when to look away.
I'm actually really offended by that, Ted, because you haven't actually asked me if I wanted to sign up for the virtual dogging. Could you please sign me up after this interview?
We can do, but it's got to be discreet, and you'll keep fucking flying in on a big jet. You know what I mean? You've got to pull up in like a Vauxhall Nova or something and flash your lights and get your tail out the window. You can't just drop in on a jet.
What I'll do is I'll drop Air Force One in London, and I'll get the Grand Central, and then I'll get a Vauxhall Nova picked up for me, or even better, a Morris Minor. Nobody had noticed then.
And if you want to save a few quid, get the Megabus as well. This is a fucking controversial question. Is it true you starred in a porno with your daughter? I'm assuming that's to you because I don't have any.
That is a really dreadful question.
It is, isn't it?
However, I know, Ted, that you would definitely with my daughter. Is that right?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd do your wife as well. Like I say, I've done your nana. So
well, there we go. And apparently somebody wants a photograph of my grandma, and they don't have a photograph, and I think that's really dreadful, really, really dreadful. Mm-hmm. However, if you've masturbated over my grandma, I wouldn't mind if you actually had sex with my daughter, Ted. I think you'd be a fantastic son-in-law.
That'd be great, mate. Yeah, and then you could get me into the politics, and it could be like Homeland. I could be like just like a really popular character in that show. Right. Good. Let's have a few more quick questions. John Burns. So have you both launched that brown canoe? It's an on-running joke. It's like the fast show, isn't it? I dropped a brown canoe just before we kicked off the show, and it was a rather pleasant one. My bum was covered in soda cream.
You know what? If you if you drink green tea, you definitely have a brown canoe. It's very beautiful. I'm loving the fact that we're inventing catchphrases here, Ted. A brown canoe, the flange zone, everything like this. I think is so great.
Lovely, lovely. Let's have, here we go. Last question here from Marty McKenna. What's the most you have both paid for a blowjob? I'm assuming that's what he means, or unless he's cutting down Big Julie. And I hope you haven't paid for that because you can have her for
Right.
free off of me. Oh,
Or it could even be Boris Johnson. How much you pay for a Boris Johnson?
I once in Magaluf in 2004, there were these three prostitute sisters who looked like the girl band Cleopatra, and I offered them €10 each just for a cuddle, but then one of them took it a bit too far and gobbled me off.
I
So.
think that I do you know? I think that's great. I remember one time I was getting, I paid, I think it was $200 for a blowjob, and she didn't want anybody to know, so we did it around the back of a bin. And she's doing it to me around the back of a bin, and I said, you know, we don't have to do this. I can take you to Trump Tower, and we can do it there. And she says, I'm not like that. It's acceptable around the back of a bin, but not acceptable in my house at Trump Tower. I really do not get the logic of that. Really dreadful. However, she did get on with it and she finished, and it was a great job, fantastic job. And also, she had a China vagina.
Oh, very nice. Well, that was lovely. To all you people out there who sent in questions, thanks, Lee. Brilliant, Ted and Donald. Cheers, lads. Thank you very much for watching. Please do share the video around far and wide. It'll be on the Ted Hankey page. It'll be on the Joke Pit page. It'll be on the Danny Postdill page. I don't know who that knobhead is. And share it about. It's going to be a weekly occurrence. I think it might be the same time next week, but watch out for the reminder. We'll see what the viewing figures are like. You know what I mean? And if you like the show, you can leave us a little, buy us a little drink. There should be some links in the on the Facebook page where you can buy us a little drink each. We only want a little drink. You know what I mean? Nothing too much. But any last words, Donald?
None at all. Apart from I've had a great time, as I always do. And you've really had me again with Brown Canoe. Great,
yeah,
great,
always
great
does.
work.
Always does. Thanks, Matters. Up the butter.